Welcome back to another episode of Just Between Us, the podcast for the girlies who dream big and live fully. I'm your host, Siobhan.
I'm your host, Bre. And before we dive in, we would love your support if you would like to support us. You love the podcast, drop us a follow, like, subscribe, share it with a friend, share it with someone that you love. Our biggest thing is we want to help more people. We want the message to get out so you guys can actually realize you can dream big and live fully. It's entirely in your hands. So today we are chatting about boundaries. Now, this is a massive topic, but I truly believe boundaries is the foundation of any healthy relationship in any realm, anywhere. Because there's like a people pleaser mentality that people think they're being really nice and being kind and doing all these things, but it actually harms both of you. And setting boundaries for yourself respects not only you and respects the other person, because I don't know about you, when you've done too much or you exerted yourself too much and you've given too much of yourself, you start to resent the other person and that then affects them. But it was you who wasn't actually putting your boundaries in play. And I don't know if you've ever heard of like the wheel of consent, and I'm going to butcher it, but I highly recommend looking it up. But basically, the whole kind of thing of the wheel of consent is you can be outside the wheel of consent, and there's 4 things. And I think it's take and accept and give and allow, or the other way around. But basically, let's just say Shev's pregnant and I say, can I touch your belly? And you're like, yeah, sure. I'm taking from you and you're allowing me to, because I want to touch your belly. That's for me, not for you. But if an old man comes up to you and says, can I touch your belly? And you're like, yeah, you're allowing that, but it's outside your will of consent, but it's your fault for allowing that and not putting your boundaries in place. So it's the same way of it's like, okay, you know, if
an old man, by the way, just on that, if a random strange old man came and asked to touch my belly while I was pregnant, I'd literally be
oh, that was good. You're going to do some great Muay Thai in our retreat.
Yeah, I've been practicing for November.
Oh, shit. I can imagine you in the mirror like, yeah. Feels so good. Yeah, everyone, go do some self-defense in case that happens.
Yeah.
But then there's the other one of like, it's the opposite way of like give, and I really don't want to butcher it, but basically if I'm making my partner food because I want to, I'm giving and he's accepting, but I'm doing that for me. I'm like, here, I want to do this because I love you, and he's accepting it. I shouldn't expect anything out of return. But if he's asked for me to do something, I am giving, but I don't have the capacity to. I'm too tired. I'm too exhausted. And he's taking, and I'm allowing him to without putting my boundaries down and saying, baby, I can't today. I need you to look after you. So I think a lot of the time we quickly shift the blame. It's like, my partner always wants me to do this. My friend, my boss, and this, that, and the other. And for me, if I message Shev on the weekend, I don't fucking expect her to reply back to me. Hell no. She's got her own life, but she comes and responds on Monday. Great. Awesome. That's all that's expected. But we have had clients in the past that, you know, might be messaging Shev. She's on back-to-back calls all day. I'm on back-to-back calls all day. And I'll get a message and one of them's like, oh, is Shev working today? Like, I haven't heard back from her. Shev's on back-to-back calls. I was like, yes, Shev is working today. But we can't drop at our every beck and call. And it's like, because you know, I think with boundaries, the more you allow people to do things outside of your wheel of consent, then the more they'll expect that. So for us, I literally say, like, unless it's a new client, you will not reply to people on the weekend, because then they get used to it. You feel drained. You feel resentful. The quality of our work comes down. We don't have as much to give because we're not filling our own cup. So having boundaries set in place in your workplace, with your partner, with your friends, is so freaking important to protect both of you, both of your relationships. Now, before I hand over the baton, one of the biggest things is it is hard to set boundaries after you have a relationship. So for example, if I had a friendship and we're both all over each other, all over each other's house, borrowing everything, and I start getting like, oh, this is just too much. Like, you're in my face too much. I want a bit more of my own personal space, like for myself, because I want to be able to show up better in this relationship. To set boundaries after is extremely hard. But if you keep allowing them to take from you when you don't want to give, that relationship ends. It completely ends. Wouldn't you rather have a conversation, and if the person loves and respects you and that relationship, they'll hear you out. I have seen this gone down in the wrong way. One of my girlfriends is a very big people pleaser. She just kept giving and giving and giving. And once she said no to something that was absolutely realistic, she should have respected her as a friend to say yes. She didn't like it because obviously my friend is changing. And she was like, well, I'm not getting what I was getting from this relationship, so we are done. So you save yourself though. It was just draining my girlfriend. She was just being drained and just used and abused and getting walked all over. And that is not good for anyone, because you feel that energy in a friendship or relationship and you feel that resentment. If you are a good friend and you love and respect me, you wouldn't treat me like that. No way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it might be tiny things, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger the more you allow it to happen. So boundaries are the foundation of a healthy relationship in any relationship.
Yeah. And the biggest takeaway from everything that you just said is it is wholeheartedly your responsibility to uphold and let other people know what your boundaries are. If you don't do that, you can't expect other people to know your boundaries, to know what you want, to know what you are going to allow or accept. You can't get mad at someone else for crossing a boundary that you've actually never told them is a boundary. It is your decision. It's your responsibility to be very clear about what your boundaries are. And I actually think that the easy part is saying what your boundary is. The hard part is actually sticking by it, especially when we're talking about relationships that maybe you haven't had those same boundaries previously and now you're trying to introduce them. If, like previous situations, you've allowed those people to kind of push past your boundaries, you've been like, yeah, okay, whatever, I don't want to argue, so I'll just do this thing. They will then continue to push those boundaries, because the more that you don't stand strong on your boundaries, the more other people also realize she's not that serious about them anyway. She doesn't actually really care that much. So I think saying your boundary 1, 2, 3 times, whatever it might be, is the easiest part. It's the actually sticking to your boundary and standing strong on what you want and what you believe in is actually the harder thing to do. It's the more uncomfortable thing to do, because often the easier thing to do in those situations when someone is trying to push your boundaries or test them is to just give in and be like, yeah, do you know what, whatever. As you kind of said, that ends up hurting both the people in the relationship, because then you're constantly just going in this cycle of you're getting mad that people are pushing your boundaries, but then the other person's like, well, you keep allowing me to, so like, what's the problem? But it is full wholeheartedly your responsibility to set and stand on your own boundaries, just as it is for every other person out there to set their own boundaries. And the other way that I like to look at boundaries is it's essentially the standards that you are setting for yourself. It's the standards that you want to live by and that you want other people in your vicinity to respect. Because I think the word boundary has also been something that's like blown up again on social media in like personal development, specifically in the self-love movement. I feel like boundaries got taken a little bit too far to kind of just being used as a way to avoid doing difficult things and showing up for yourself. Whereas I think when you're actually setting proper boundaries, like healthy boundaries, you're just telling people or you're telling yourself what standards you want to live by. And that is always a really great thing to have. If you don't have boundaries, it's kind of unclear for you what your standards are. If you're just kind of walking through your life and through every experience, whether it be at work, whether it be in your friendships, your partner like relationships, if you don't have boundaries, it's very difficult to understand who you actually are as a person, what you do actually want from a relationship. If you're just constantly walking around being like, yeah, whatever, like everyone just do whatever they want to me, I'm just going to be a people pleaser, like you end up diminishing your own spark as well. I did that for so many years. I was the world's biggest people pleaser, and I'm pretty sure I've spoken about this in previous episodes. Like a doormat, like full doormat. Everyone was just there, like wiping their feet on me for years. Yeah, right, wiping all their grubby toes on me for years, and I just allowed it for years and years and years, and then wondered why I felt like a shell of myself. It's because I had no idea what I was standing up for, what I wanted, what was actually something that I wanted compared to what was actually other people's like standards and boundaries that they were also forcing on me. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll just go with it. So having your own boundaries is just having essentially a set of guidelines or standards for yourself that you want to live by. It doesn't need to be this mean thing as well. I feel like I have had so many conversations with people about them being scared to set boundaries, thinking that just be me being really selfish, or am I being mean if I say I don't want to do that thing for that person? Or specifically when it comes to work relationships, actually a big one is people will often not set boundaries or allow their like bosses to overstep their boundaries based on kind of a status power dynamic. We often think that if you have a boss, if you have a manager, if you work like underneath someone, that naturally just means that they can tell you what to do, that they can cross your boundaries more. I think is one of the most common areas that people don't set their boundaries for themselves. And it's one thing that I actually really appreciate about our working relationship is that we are very open with our boundaries. We are very much open with what we will tolerate, what we won't tolerate. And neither of us disrespect each other to cross them. And that is also another thing. If you set your boundaries, you're like strong on them and someone else keeps pushing them, it is a form of disrespect. They are not respecting how you would like to show up and how you would like that relationship to be. It's a massive form of disrespect if you are saying to someone, hey, I don't want to tolerate this. Hey, I don't like the way that you've done this or that you've asked this. Can we not do that in the future? And they just like blatantly don't listen. It's disrespectful. And that also says a lot more about them than it does about the boundary that you're trying to set.
And it can be a blessing in disguise as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, I think boundaries is one of those things that how you expect people to treat you is how you treat yourself. So if you continue to allow people to do that, you don't have the respect and love for yourself. And the work that we love doing with our girls, a lot of it comes down to the mindset and teaching them that they are worthy, that they can believe in themselves, that they are capable. And then they have the confidence to actually set those boundaries. So their relationships become better. They don't expect or they don't settle for the bare minimum, and they stop settling not only for themselves, but in all sorts of relationships. And because of that, yeah, you do lose a lot of friends. You do have to outgrow people, or, you know, people aren't willing to do that. And like you said, Shev, like for us, like it is very much we respect ourselves enough. We respect our relationship enough. And I get value from Shev. Shev gets value from me. And we both have respect and love for each other, that it's like, okay, well, if we do want to put our foot down or we do want to voice something, we'll hear each other out. If we agree, cool. Amazing. If we don't, we have a discussion, not an argument. And it's very much like you said, Shev, it's the hardest thing is keeping them there, because people will push them and walk all over you if they can. And it's entirely up to you to put that in place. But I also want to talk about boundaries on ourselves. Most people think that they don't need to set boundaries for themselves, but you absolutely do for a healthy relationship with yourself. Once again, boundaries are essentially, I will not allow you to do this. So if you do that, expect me out of your life, or expect XYZ. So when it comes to yourself as well, it's like you have to set boundaries. And I will always bring this back to the phone because you will never hear it enough. Absolutely not. You need to set boundaries with your phone because it will rule your life. And I mean that by you're sitting in the car with somebody that you love, you're driving and you're scrolling, you're texting people, you're doing all the things. You could do that later in your own time. This person next to you has chosen to spend time with you. They are driving. Out of respect, you must put your phone down. And that will dictate your relationship to each other. But when it also dictates your relationship to yourself, you get snappy, you get agitated, you get moody, you don't show up for yourself in the ways that you should. You feel like you're out of control and your phone's controlling you. Absolutely, it will if you don't set boundaries. I leave my phone on my desk at night, not only because when my alarm goes off, I have to get up, but the second thing is I'm not tempted to touch my phone. I do have locks on it anyways, but I'm not tempted to touch my phone. And setting those boundaries for myself allow me to show up better for not only myself, have a better life, but show up better for everyone else around me as well. You can have no-go zones. You're not allowed your phone in your room. You're not allowed your phone in the living room. You're not allowed your phone in the kitchen. You can only use your phone on the toilet. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But like having boundaries for yourself in so many ways is so important as well, because I think if we cross our own boundaries, we feel disappointed, we shame ourselves, and we repeat that cycle. So imagine that in a relationship when someone crosses your boundary. If I said to my partner, if you're talking to hot girls when I'm not there and you're laughing and giggling and touching them, fuck you. And if you do that again, we're done. Yeah, it might be so simple and so small, but like if he starts doing that, then what else is he going to do? What is he doing behind my back? And then if you don't stop that there, how far are they going to push you? And then you end up in a toxic relationship, and it's much harder to leave. So setting those boundaries allow you to have incredible relationships, respect yourself. So even if it's small, put yourself in the other person's shoes and go, if they did this to me or asked this of me, would I be like, yeah, okay, that's totally fine. I see your perspective 100%. I would hate that the other way. I think we need to actually shift the perspective more and see things from the other person's foot instead of getting defensive about things, because it is so important. Like, I would respect someone more when they go, hey, that's not okay. I'm like, okay. Absolutely. So fine. I won't do that again. And then you can understand where the boundary is, where you can cross over. And my mum and my brother just had a tiff, and it came down to the expectations and the boundaries, and it was just not voiced. So let's just say, for example, I say to Shev, hey, Shev, I need you to do, I don't know, I'm like, hey, do you mind helping me out? Can you fill up my car because I'm inundated with XYZ? Random request, I know, but like, can you fill up my car? And then
I can't
she's
even
like,
drive,
yeah, absolutely.
So no.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, yeah, absolutely. And then, 2 hours later, I'm like, why haven't you fucking done it? Why have you not filled up my car? It's like, well, the actual expectation was not spoken about. It's like, hey, Chev, do you mind filling up my car in the next hour? I really need it done. That would mean the world to me. Absolutely appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, cool, done. She knows when it needs to be done by. I think a lot of the times where we do get in tiffs with relationships and things go wrong is the unsaid expectation is unmet. What's the saying? It's like unsaid expectation is an unmet. I don't know. Someone's going to have to comment what the
I
hell
don't
that
know.
is. But
I've never
basically,
even
it's
heard
like,
that before.
yeah, when you don't say your expectations,
Yeah.
then, it nobody really knows. It's like, you can't get mad at because you didn't tell me what specifically time frame you need this done by. It's the same in relationships. Like, hey, babes, can you take the bin out? It's like, yeah, absolutely. A boy's time is completely different to our time. We want it done right
I'll
fucking
do it
now.
in 7 days' time.
Exactly.
But I've
you
still
can't
done
get
it.
mad at him because he didn't know. It's like, hey, babes, can you take the bins out, in the next 10 minutes for me? That would be amazing. He's like, yep, cool. If he hasn't done it, then it's like, yeah, babes, like, I asked for your help. Come on. Please. It takes 10 seconds. Please just take the fucking bins out. But if you don't say when, you can only be mad at yourself because you didn't voice it. So again, it kind of comes down to communication. And that's why boundaries and standards are so important, because everyone is on the same wavelength. And it also comes down to the friend that's like, oh, just have a drink. It's like, no, I will not have a drink. There's so many things to do with boundaries when people, cross the line. I also think a healthy way of doing something, if you are setting a new boundary with someone that hasn't been spoken about before, you can say to them and be like, hey, do you mind if we have a conversation? I feel really uncomfortable talking about this, but please hear me out. And I want you to hear me with love from this. When you do this, it makes me feel this. Can we shift it to this? And then they hear you out, because it diffuses the situation and you're no longer got your walls up. Whereas if you go with your partner, it's like, if you're just constantly like, babes, I told you to do this, and get angry. It's like, hey, babes, like, I did ask you, do you mind? Like, they're more inclined to actually respond rather than when you're angry and get aggressive. It's so important to diffuse the situation. I say this when it comes to people going out for events and dinners and all the things, and someone has these goals that they want to achieve, but someone's like, oh, just have a drink. Oh, just have more. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. If you say to the person that does that to you all the time prior to going to that event, hey, I'm doing this. Please support me in this. I would really appreciate that. I'm trying my best to achieve something that I really want to do, and your support would mean the world to me. They're no longer going to pressure you. So communication in every aspect of life in general will fix so many issues.
Yeah, just yap more like we do. It will literally fix everything. If you just yap all the time, your life will be better.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like people get scared. Like, don't be the person that ghosts your friends because you don't want to have that uncomfortable
Yeah.
conversation. Have that
Um,
uncomfortable conversation, because on the other side of it, you both will feel better. Pour your heart out. I'm hurting. What you did to me actually hurt me. Please, can we, shift this dynamic? You don't have to say those obviously words, but you're asking, can we shift this dynamic? Because I can't keep letting it happen. It's hurting me. Everyone is scared to pour their heart out because they're protecting themselves. And that is normal. That is a human thing. But if you are able to be vulnerable, you have beautiful relationships where you can create deep connections. And I am guilty of this. In past relationships, I push people away subconsciously or consciously. I didn't realize I was doing it. And in hindsight, I look back after all the work that I've done within myself, how many times I pushed friends away and lost friendships because we didn't have a conversation and I didn't say, what you did hurt me, and we just started to drift apart. So
yeah.
please, for the sake of your relationships and your mental health, your whole world, livelihood, please communicate.
Yeah. I think honestly, we all lose so many friendships and relationships in our lifetime based on the fact that we don't know how to communicate. And it's obviously a skill that naturally, as you grow up, you learn more and more, but it is a skill. So unless you're actively, again, choosing to practice how to communicate, to change your communication style, to also understand the people in your life communication style, because everyone does communicate slightly different or respond in different ways or kind of absorb information in different ways. Again, we're all separate humans. We don't have the same brain. We don't think the same. So it obviously naturally does come from just with age. We do get more comfortable communicating, but it's a skill. It's something that you have to practice. And just like anything else, the more that you practice it, the more confident you become in communicating, the less anxious that you'll feel having those hard conversations. But they are so worth it. And even if we just kind of look back, like I'm the exact same. I've lost so many friends and so many relationships in the past just from not speaking my truth, or actually just being like, the easier thing to do here is to just avoid or to walk away, when it's really not. We could have so many beautiful relationships and probably also end up resenting a lot less people if we were actually just more open on both sides with how we were feeling. I feel like so many friendships end because both people have certain feelings towards the other person, also thinking that the other person has specific feelings towards them, but just never say anything. We just all stay quiet and angry.
Unsaid expectations are unmet. No, there's a
What's the
word. Is
word?
it? Surely it's unsaid expectations
Yeah.
will lead to unmet.
Expectations.
That's what I'm thinking. Does
It's the
that
same
make
word,
sense?
but that doesn't seem right.
It
You can't
doesn't seem
just
right.
use the same word twice.
Yeah, you can't. I don't know. I don't know
That
what it
really
is, but
doesn't hit as hard if
it
you're just
doesn't.
using the same word
It just like,
twice.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
crazy.
we get the gist of the saying though. It's
I keep
true. Whatever
trying.
the saying is, it's true.
I'm just failing right now, and I'm here for it.
No, we get the vibe of that quote, and it's 100% true. Like again, none of us are mind readers, and especially when it does come to boundaries, like what we've said earlier, it's your responsibility to set boundaries. It's your responsibility to uphold them. It's your responsibility to have conversations with the people that might be pushing your boundaries. If you want to continue having a relationship with them, you have to be open and communicate, because we don't all just walk around knowing what everyone's thinking. That would be horrible, actually. If we could actually just hear what everyone was thinking, we would all go insane.
There's a movie. I don't know what it is, but it's like girls can hear guys' thoughts, every thoughts. There's like this random movie about it, but
No,
it's
I
kind of funny.
definitely wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
If
I
there's
also
anything I don't want, it's to be able to hear just specifically guys' thoughts.
Yeah, no, imagine, oh, that would be ick. No,
No,
thank you.
thank you.
It'd be so odd. It would be so odd.
Yeah, maybe for like a
Um,
day, actually. I'd like to know if what I think men think about is what they actually think about.
yeah.
Like beer, vagina, PlayStation.
Just like,
I'm
yeah, I
hungry.
reckon, yeah, hungry, bust my nut, and yeah, games.
That's it, just over and over and over again. No, we're really diminishing the
Ours would be
intelligence of
wild.
the
Guys would be
entire.
like, shut up.
Yeah,
Brain can't
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Back on that though, I genuinely feel like a lot of it comes down to our emotions. We
Uh,
act from our emotions and we protect ourselves all the time. So even if it doesn't benefit us or the relationship or whatever else, it is always from an emotional standpoint. I would rather push you away than have the fear of rejection if I tell you how I'm actually feeling and you don't feel the same way. And every single time it comes down to that. And I know for me, my partner will literally feel me getting like a little bit like agitated, closed off, pushing him away. He's like, sits me down like a child. And he's like, what's going on? Like, I don't want to talk about it. I just need to
Yeah, you're
process
like,
my emotions. Yeah. Exactly that. And what is your just a little soppy kind of
yeah,
child, like little toddler. But we are, again, we come back to this. We are just kids and we're just trying
yeah,
to do our best and protect
yeah,
ourselves and our emotions. So even though it feels hard, sometimes you'll hear the exact thing that you want. And if somebody doesn't respect you, yeah, it might hurt, and validate your own feelings in that, and give it time and process those emotions. If you want to cry, cry, like let it out somatically. It's so important to do that and process it. But maybe in hindsight, that actually saved you in the future from a relationship, from somebody who disrespects you and will treat you worse. You saved yourself by setting that boundary. And sometimes the hardest things we need to do, I reckon 99% of the time, the hardest things we need to do are the ones that benefit us. And those hard conversations benefit your relationship, bring you closer. The hard thing, the uncomfortable thing, setting the boundary, uncomfortable, but at the same time, it is always for the greater good in your relationships, for your life. So choose the hard thing always, no matter how hard it is. Choose the hard thing because we know it's hard, because we know it's going to benefit us, but we're just scared.
yeah. Agree. 100% agree. And I also, I just want to re-emphasize something that you said before. Don't diminish what am I trying to say? How do I word this? Diminish is not the right word. I don't know what the word is.
Like
I
squish
kind
or
of, don't squish.
squish. What a word. That one came straight from the dictionary.
That's definitely not the word I was thinking, but I like it.
I'm trying to think like belittle or like
No,
shut down
oh
or
my
like
gosh,
squish.
it's like it's right there, and it's none of those words, and it doesn't have that meaning.
Oh, okay, I'm off.
Don't underestimate.
Oh,
Don't
so far.
underestimate. Yeah, yeah, no one is squish.
I
Don't
just wanted to say
underestimate
squish.
how the small boundaries that you let people overstep, how much bigger they can become if you keep letting people overstep them. Even I'll go back to kind of the work relationship boundary. I have so many conversations with people who are like, oh, I finished work late again last night. Or, oh, someone asked me to do like a task for them 5 minutes before I was meant to leave. And I said, yes. That seems on that one day like a very, very small thing. And you're like, sure, whatever. It might take me like 10 minutes to do and then I can leave. But what you're doing is you're opening up the opportunity for people to just keep doing that. And the more that you do that, it then goes from this one task that you did one time to everyone in your office expecting you to always be staying late, to always be on hand when you need them for anything. And it literally turns from this tiny little thing that you're like, yeah, it will take me 10 minutes to a boundary that's then being overstepped by everyone and is very difficult to then maintain. So do not underestimate how important it is to set your boundaries and stand on them from the moment that you set it, no matter how small they might seem.
And in that as well, like, I know it's so easy to go like, well, how would I actually apply that? If someone asks you 5 minutes before work, absolutely, I'll get to that first thing tomorrow. But don't promise first thing tomorrow if you can't do it first thing tomorrow. Make sure you say it how it is, because if you're setting those expectations, meet them. Like, again, it's a standard you're setting for yourself, meet that.
Yeah.
Or be more communicative of like, hey, like, I can't do it right now, but I'll get to it sometime tomorrow. That way, only if that's in your capacity. But making sure that you, and say it with confidence, because if you're like, is that okay? Like, are you sure? Then people are going to be like, no, do it now.
No,
like, they're
do it
going to
now.
push that boundary. Like, be strong on that and just go, hey, yeah, I'll get to it. And like, say it with confidence. Even if you're shitting yourself and you're shaking in your boots, like, make sure you actually do that. And the more you do it, the more confident you become with it. And the more people will start to respect you. And you see how people actually treat you differently. And you actually have a bit more of an authority, a bit more confidence. If you do good work, they will wait, because it's so important to have quality work over, quantity. If it's just trash, it's like, hey, I can get this to you. It might take me a little bit longer because I want to make sure it's the best for you. And I want to give you the best work that I possibly can. So kind of use that as well. So make sure you do actually set those in place. So I think we should challenge everyone to maybe share what they're going to do in their workplace, in their relationships, share it in the comments, and then come back to your comment a week later and share how you did. Even if you're scared, come back to that. So this is your self accountability, and making that comment here, coming back to it and be like, I actually did it and showed up, and we will celebrate you, because then that's the start of slowly doing this and implementing that into your life to create a better life for yourself and everybody else around you.
I love
Should we
that.
wrap it up?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it. What's your thing of the week?
I really don't know. Oh, I'm actually going. I really don't know. Straight into it. Okay. Yeah, you don't know. It's one of my girlfriend's weddings. Weddings? No, it's her birthday.
Oh.
Anyways, I have a best friend's birthday, and we're going on like the Phuket. It's called Yona Beach Club. It's literally a floating like yacht that is like a beach club. It's got a massive pool in it, and I'm super excited. So don't know where the day will take us, but I've always wanted to do it. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. What are you wearing?
Yeah, my girlfriend bought it off Shein. Shein is great. And it's literally like this leopard print. It's like mesh kind of see-through flared pants, and then like a bikini underneath. I'm gonna wear like big hoop earrings, but I want to get a bandana, but it's impossible to match the print. And then you just kind of do it a disservice anyways. So I might just like have a bare head, wear some sunnies.
So cute.
Yeah.
Love that. Have fun.
Thank you.
I wish I was doing something that exciting this weekend.
Hey, we can do it when you come in.
Yes. What's my thing? Oh, do you know what? Really random one, actually. I kind of noticed that because I've been working from home for quite a while, I felt that I was kind of getting into more of a rhythm that I just like wake up, I'd like some random activewear on or like a tracksuit or whatever, and then I just go and start my day. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put like effort into how I look, how I'm presenting myself every single day. I'm going to basically act as if I'm like dressed to go somewhere, not to sit in my spare bedroom every day. I'm going to act like I'm actually going to leave my apartment today. And yeah, put some effort into the way that I look, because it's scientifically proven that if you look cute, you work harder, you lift heavier, all the things. I've also, from doing that, I've been experimenting with like different makeup stuff more, which I absolutely have loved doing. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I used to want to be a makeup artist. I've had like a complete 180 from makeup artist to coach, but I used to love just like experimenting with my makeup. So I've started doing that more, trying out different things. And I feel great for it. You feel so much more productive when you actually you don't just like roll out of bed and put the first thing on that you see and just go to work.
I love that. It's so true. I actually have told a client to do this one time, because when you put in effort, everything else you put in effort. So it's like how you start your day. If you just wake up and it's not important to you, so you don't put in the effort and do your hair, your makeup, everything like that, then nothing else is that important and you won't put that effort in. But if you actually put that effort in, if you do go out, you show up better, you feel yourself and your energy's better. It's just like, absolutely a flow on effect. I do it every day, like regardless, like working from home, and you're on calls and you do your makeup, but and then in between I just change my pants into like comfy pants sometimes. I'm like business in the top, wait, what is it? No, party in the back, but it's like business up the top and then like jammy pants down the bottom as well. There's not a saying for that. It's business in the front, party in the back, but 100%. If you don't do it, brush your hair, put some makeup on, brush your teeth, get dressed, and you feel good. You feel good. Like if you're always wearing drab clothes.
Like I used to do it every single day. Like when I first started working from home and like working for myself, like 2-ish years ago, I've made that kind of promise to myself. And I was like, I know that if I don't do that, that I'm going to feel like shit or that I'm not going to be productive. And then I feel like over the past like couple of months or so, I just like started getting less and less and less and less. And I also feel like as we went into winter, I was like, I can get away with just wearing trackies now. I don't need to look cute. But I caught myself on it and I was like, no, I know how much better I feel when I actually do prioritize that in my morning routine. And I love it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, that wraps up today's episode. Drop a comment, follow, like, support us, share this with somebody that you love, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.